everyone, today we're going to solve some questions that are very likely to show up on your SAT test. I'm going to explain the concepts why we solve, and I've arranged the questions from easy to difficult. Let's start with one of the most common topics. As you know, single variable questions and system of linear equations are guaranteed to show up on your SAT test. Most of the time these questions are so easy, but sometimes just a bit advanced. When solving system of linear equations, remember there are three possible outcomes.
1. No solution. That happens when the lines are parallel. 2. Infinitely many solutions. Then the lines are the same. And 3. Exactly one solution. That happens when the lines intersect. If two lines are perpendicular, the product of their slopes equal -1. Okay, let's try a couple of examples. In the given equation, p is a constant. The equation has no solution. What's the value of p? So in this question, we know that in order to have no solution, we need to put 21p is equal to 3x. So in that case, the equation would be like 0 is equal to 84, and we don't have any answer. But we can simply just insert it in decimals, and we can insert answer choices we have. So as you can see, we don't have any answer when p is equal to 1/7. The solution to the given system of equations is x and y. What's the value of y? Again, we only need to insert it in decimals, and decimals will give us the answer. In the given system of equations, r is a constant. If the system has no solution, what's the value of r? So in this question, we know that the system has no solution, so the lines should be parallel, which means their slope must be equal. So we only need to find the slope of the first line. To do that, we first need to rearrange the linear equation so that all the y terms are on one side and the x terms are on the other side. Once it's in slope-intercept form, we can identify the slope and set it equal to the slope of the second line. In this question, we have the equation of line P, and the line Q passes through the points 6 and 0 and 0 and 3. If the system of equations consisting of line P and line Q has infinitely many solutions, what's the value of u plus t? First, we're going to add a table and insert the points. And then we're going to add regression to find the equation. That's a linear equation. So, two lines should have the same equation. So the slope of the line we have should be equal to the slope of the line we find in decimals. And also, y-intercept should be equal as well. Now let's move into a topic that appears a lot and is a bit more challenging than previous one. There are three common types of questions in this category, and we're going to solve three of them. First one is word problems. Usually the question wants to check whether you can form the exponential equation from the situation or interpret what each number in the equation means in the context of the problem. Whenever you see exponential expressions in the answer choices, you should look for two numbers. First, the initial value, second, the growth or decay factor, which is the base. Let's clarify something important. There are two common ways the base is given. One, the amount doubles or triples every hour. then the growth factor is simply just 2 or 3. 2, the base is given as a percentage. Example, the amount increases by 14% per hour. So in this form, do not use 14 as a growth factor. Instead, use the formula. Base is equal to 1 plus percentage over 100. So 14% increase becomes 1.14 and 20% decrease becomes 1 minus 0.2 equals to 0.8. In these questions, always read the final line of the equation first so you know what it's asking for. Now let's solve 3 examples. Which of the following equations best represent this model versus the estimated number of comments on the article 3 hours after the article was first featured on the homepage? So we're looking for 2 numbers here. One is initial number and second one is the base. The first number is here. There were 40 comments on the article. Okay, so the initial one should be 40. The second number is here. The number of comments on the article had increased by 190% of the number of comments on the article at the end of the previous hour. So okay, the base should be 1 plus 1.9, which is 2.9, and the initial number is 40. So the answer is D. Which equation represents the value of the account in dollars 2 years after the account was opened? The first number is here, 890, which is the initial value. The second number is the value of the account doubled every 10 years. So we already know that the answer is C, because the initial number is 890 and the base is 2. And as you can see, the exponent is t over 10, which is completely right because the value of the account is doubling every 10 years. Which equation best represents this model where x is the number of years after 2005? The first number is here, 15,000. A model predicts that the population of Oregon was 15,000 in 2005. Okay, this is the initial number, so it's either C or D. The model also predicts that each year for the next 5 years, the population increased by 4%. Okay, so the answer should be D, 1.04 as the base. As I told you, in some questions, they just want to know if you understand the equation. Look at this question, for example. The function f gives the value in dollars of a certain piece of equipment after x months of use. If the value of the equipment decreases each year by p% of its value the preceding year, what's the value of p? Take an example of the first year. At the first year, f of x would be the initial number multiplied by 0.64. So it has decreased by 36%. This function models the value in dollars of a certain bank account by the end of each year from 1957. X is the number of years after it. Which of the following is the best impression of f of 5 is approximately equal to 243? So we know that x here is showing years, right? So f of 5 is the amount in bank after 5 years. 5 years after 1957. So the answer should be B. The value of the bank account is estimated to be approximately $243 in 1962. The next type of questions that are really popular in exponential equations are constant question or coefficient question. Look at this question. For the exponential function f, the value of f of 0 is c, where c is a constant. Of the following equations that defines the function f, which equation shows the value of c as the coefficient or the base? So in every question, this is coefficient and this is base. What we should do in this kind of question is to calculate f of 0 for each answer choice. For the first one, is equal to 22 multiplied by 1.5, right? So the question asks us which equation shows the value of c as the coefficient or the base. 22 multiplied by 1.5 is not our coefficient. Also, it's not our base, so this is not the answer. For the second one, we have for x equal to 0, we have 33, right? 33 is our coefficient and also is the answer for f of 0. So this is our answer. F of 0 in this equation is equal to the coefficient. Or look at this question. The functions f and g are defined by the given equations where x is equal or greater than 0. Which of the following equations display as a constant or coefficient the maximum value of the function it defines? First of all, we know that x is equal or bigger than 0. Second of all, we should look at the base. For g of x, the base is smaller than 1. So the graph is decreasing, right? But for the first one, f of x, the base is bigger than 1. So the graph is increasing. You can plot it in decimals and you can see it. So definitely for the first one, we're not going to see maximum since it's increasing. But for g of x, since it is decreasing, the highest value is in x equal to 0. And at x equal to 0, g of x is equal to 9, which is our coefficient. So the answer is B, g of x is the only one that the maximum value is coefficient. Look at this question. It sounds scary, but it's actually a very simple question. The function f is defined by f of x equal to something, and we are integer constant. The function g and h are equivalent to function f, where k and m are constants. Which of the following equations displays the y-coordinate of the y-intercept of the graph of y equal to f of x in the xy plane as a constant or coefficient? So it asks for y-coordinate of the y-intercept of the graph of f of x. So it wants the y value when x is equal to 0 in f of x. When x is equal to 0, f of x would be a multiplied by 1 plus 2.2 to b. That's our answer. So which of the following function g of x or h of x has the constant or coefficient equal to a multiplied by 1 plus 2.2 to b? None of them. So the answer is D. Okay, I think that for this video we solved enough questions from this category. So let's solve some questions from the last category of exponential functions, which is finding an unknown. The exponential function given above passes through 2 points. What's the possible value of b? These questions are just so simple. You just need to use decimals to solve it. First of all, we have h of x equal to 1.23 for x equal to 0. So it should be either C or D. So we only need to insert the other points like x equal to 2 to these two functions and find out which one of them is the right answer. Or we simply can use regression to solve it. First, we should insert the points in a table. Then from add regression, we choose exponential regression. So now we have the equation. The first type here is simple proportion, very straightforward. Let's solve one easy example quickly. For a certain rectangular region, the ratio of its length to its width is 35 to 10. If the width of the rectangular region increases by 7 units, how must the length change to maintain this ratio? We have the ratio of 35 over 10. So it should be equal to 35 plus x over 70. And as you can see, x is 24.5. So it must increase by 24.5 units. 1 gallon of stain will cover 170 square feet of a surface. A yard has a total fence area of W square feet. Each equation represents the total amount of stain in gallons needed to stain the fence in this yard twice. So we're going to write down the equation as always. So we have a yard and we know that it is W square feet. We want to know S, which is the amount of stain we need in gallons. So it is 1 multiplied by W or 170. But we want to stain the fence in this yard twice, so we need to multiply by 2, which is W over 85. Sphere A has a radius of 4x and sphere B has a radius of 12x. The value of sphere B is how many times the value of sphere A. Before we solve this question, let's talk about it. Consider a cube. If each side of the cube is multiplied by k, then the surface area is multiplied by k squared. The volume is multiplied by k cubed. Back to the question. Radius of A over radius of B is gonna be 4 over 12, which is 1/3. So the ratio of the bigger radius to the smaller one is 3. So the ratio of volumes should be 3 cubed, which is 27. Another type of questions that we're going to solve is unit conversion, which is really just another type of questions of proportions. You just convert from the units you have to the units the question wants. Look at this question. A fish swam a distance of 5,104 yards. How far did the fish swim in miles? I think you know how to solve these kind of questions. I'm not going to make this video so long, so I'm just going to give a very short explanation for it. Like for example, for this question, we can write 1 mile over 1,760 yards is equal to 1. You accept it from me, right? Or we can even change the place of a numerator and denominator, since the equation is just equal to 1. And in every question, we're going to use these fractions to change what we don't want to what we want. So for this question, we have 5,104 yards. Because we don't want yards, we're going to put yards in denominator and we just solve it. The speed of a vehicle is increasing at a rate of 7.3 meters per second squared. What is this rate in miles per minute squared, rounded to the nearest tenth? So first of all, we're going to change meters. So we're going to write 7.3 meters per second squared multiplied by, since we don't want meters, we're going to write down meters in the denominator. 1,609 meters and 1 mile in the numerator. Multiplied by, we know that 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. But in this question we have minutes squared. So what we're going to do is to square both sides. So we're going to have 1 squared is equal to 60 squared. So we're going to multiply these two, since we don't want second squared and it is in the denominator in this equation, we're going to write down second squared in denominator so that we can remove it. At last, we're going to solve a very unique question type from quadratic equations. A quadratic function f has vertex at 4 and -2. and the point 2 and 4 lies on its graph. We have g of x. What's the value of f of 3 minus g of 3? In this kind of questions, we need to find the equation of a parabola. As you know, a quadratic has 3 unknown coefficients, a, b, and c. So normally we need 3 points to get the equation. But the question only gives us 2 points. So what do? The trick is one of the points is the vertex of the parabola. And we know the axis of symmetry passes through the vertex. So we use that to find the third point. For example, in this question, the x for the vertex is 4. And we know that that's the x that symmetry line passes through. We have the point 2 and 4. So based on the fact that we have the same point at the other side of symmetry line, we know that at x equal to 6, we're gonna have y equals to 4. So what we're going to do is that we're going to insert the points in decimals. And then we're going to find the equation of f of x.
Okay, I think it's enough for today. Make sure to practice these questions because they show up a lot. If this video was helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. And also, if you want to improve your SAT score with me, you can book a class using this link. Also, if you have questions like a hard question that you can't solve, send it to my email. I will help you. Thank you for watching this video. I hope I see you in the next one.